Let us continue ionic equilibrium. In ionic equilibrium, we will continue salt hydrolysis. In the salt hydrolysis, we will see anionic hydrolysis. We are going to see anionic hydrolysis. We will see anionic hydrolysis. Sorry, anion in the sense monovalent anion is possible, divalent ion is possible, and trivalent ion is possible, etc. Many are possible. Now we will take monovalent anion. We will take monovalent anion undergoing hydrolysis, that we will take. In the monovalent anion in the sense Cl2 minus, we can say acetate CH3COO minus, we can say F minus, NO3 minus, like this we can say. This A minus undergoing hydrolysis in the sense it will react with water. This A minus will take what from water such that it is reacting. It is anion. So anion will take what from water? It will take cation from water. Water can give which cation? H plus. Therefore A minus takes H plus from water and becomes what in the sense HA. Water donates H plus. That means water has donated H plus. Then in the water, what is the remaining? OH minus. So this A minus on interacting with water takes H plus and becomes HA. Then the rest is OH minus. So A minus undergoing hydrolysis in the sense the resultant nature will be what? Acidic or basic or neutral? Which will be? The resultant nature, whether it is acid or base. Here OH minus is there. OH minus means base, no doubt. But HA also is there, no? Therefore, HA in the sense acid. Therefore, resultant will it be acidic or basic or neutral? Which one? For which anion undergoes hydrolysis, that we will see. Then we will conclude this. Okay. Now, anion example is what in the sense NH2 minus. We will take NH2 minus, that is amide. Amide in the sense we can take sodamide. Example is sodamide we will take. Sodamide should not be dropped in water. It should not be stored in water. It should not be stored in water. Like this we should not do. Then what we have to do? We have to keep sodamide in liquor ammonia, not in water. We have to keep sodamide in liquor ammonia. In liquor ammonia only we have to store sodamide. Why we should not keep sodamide in water? Because this amide reacts with water. This amide reacts with water. That means amide takes what from water? Amide takes H plus from water and becomes NH3. In the water, remaining is OH minus. So, now NH2 minus reacts with water and goes for so and so equilibrium. That means here anion is undergoing hydrolysis. Therefore, sodamide should not be placed in water. So, this reaction is vigorous reaction. Sodamide should not be exposed to water. Sodamide should not be exposed to moist air. That means how the reaction between amide and water will be there, you think it. Then reaction, that means reaction between amide and water will be very fast and vigorous, we can say. Since the reaction is vigorous, this equilibrium lies almost which side in the sense right, almost right. Why this equilibrium lies almost right? Because NH3 is a very weak acid. NH3 is a very weak acid. Its conjugate base is NH2 minus. It is strong conjugate base. NH3 is a very weak acid. Its conjugate is NH2 minus. It is strong conjugate base. Therefore, equilibrium lies almost right in the sense NH2 minus undergoes complete hydrolysis. NH2 minus undergoes a complete hydrolysis. So, which anion will undergo complete hydrolysis means the anion is from very weak acid. The anion is from very weak acid will undergo complete hydrolysis. That means NH2 minus cannot exist in water because it has converted into like these products. So NH2 minus cannot exist in water. Therefore, if you dissolve sodamide in water, now we will take sodamide that we will dissolve in water. What is the resultant in the sense Na plus aqueous, NH2 minus aqueous, like this we should not say, like this will not be obtained because NH2 minus will react with water completely and converts to like this. Therefore, on dissolving sodamide in water, we will not get like this. Then we will take sodium oxide. Sodium oxide we will add into water. Sodium oxide will convert into sodium hydroxide, and in the resultant solution what will be there means Na plus aqueous and OH minus aqueous will be there in the resultant solution. That means this oxide reacting with water, this oxide takes H plus from water and becomes OH minus. The water donates H plus to oxide and remaining residual part is OH minus. Here you see that sodium oxide on dissolving in water, we are not getting sodium hydroxide. We are not getting sodium oxide aqueous solution. We are getting sodium hydroxide aqueous solution. So sodium oxide on dissolving in water, we are not getting Na plus aqueous and O2 minus aqueous. Like this, not at all possible. Like this possible. Like this possible. Sodium oxide on dissolving in water, we are getting sodium hydroxide aqueous solution, but not oxide aqueous solution, Na plus aqueous solution. Why? Why we are not getting like this? Because oxide reacts with water. This reaction is vigorous reaction. This oxide can undergo complete hydrolysis. This oxide undergo complete hydrolysis. Why oxide undergoes complete hydrolysis? Because OH minus is very weak acid. OH minus is very weak acid. Therefore, its conjugate is strong conjugate base. Oxide is strong conjugate base. Oxide is strong conjugate base. Therefore, it undergoes complete hydrolysis. Here, oxide comes under which category? See, this anion comes under this category, A power 2 minus. Okay, bivalent anion. Now we will take another anion. We will take now we will take sodium hydride. This is solid. This we will dissolve in water. What we will get in the sense we will get sodium hydroxide aqueous and hydrogen gas we will get. That means in this one H minus is there. H minus is reacting with water. H minus takes H plus from water and becomes what in the sense hydrogen gas. In the water, what is the residual part in the sense OH minus? Now, hydrogen gas is very weak acid. Therefore, its conjugate is H minus, that is strong conjugate base. Since it is strong conjugate base, it reacts with water completely. So this is also we can say complete hydrolysis. Complete hydrolysis. Therefore, sodium hydride on dissolving in water, we can get Na plus aqueous, but H minus aqueous will not be. We will not get H minus can't exist in aqueous solution. Why H minus cannot exist in aqueous solution? Because H minus is a strong conjugate base. It reacts with water completely and vigorously. Therefore, H minus undergoes complete hydrolysis. So, which anion can undergo complete hydrolysis? If the anion is from very weak acid, that undergoes complete hydrolysis. For that, what is the example in the sense? NH2 minus undergoes complete hydrolysis. Oxide undergoes complete hydrolysis. H minus undergoes complete hydrolysis. Alkenide, for example, CH3 minus. CH3 minus is called a methenide, undergoes complete hydrolysis. These anions is from very weak acid. Therefore, these anions undergo complete hydrolysis, they cannot exist in aqueous solution. Okay. Now, next type of anion we will take. Now we are taking a anion is Cl minus. Okay. For example, we will take salt NaCl. We will take salt NaCl. Sodium chloride salt we will take. Table salt we will take. We will dissolve in water. We are getting what in the sense Na plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous. Like this we are getting. It is persistent. That means Cl minus is stable in water. Cl minus exists in aqueous solution. So Cl minus, can it undergo hydrolysis with water to give HCl and OH minus? Not at all possible. This equilibrium, if we see, this equilibrium lies almost left. Almost left. That means almost left in the sense, what is the meaning? Forward is not there. Forward is not there. Why? Because HCl is strong acid. Its conjugate is very weak base. Therefore, it is not undergoing hydrolysis. No hydrolysis at all. Therefore, if the anion is from strong acid, that will not undergo hydrolysis. Okay. Then, so 2 points we got an idea. One is if anion is from very weak acid, that undergoes complete hydrolysis. If anion is from strong acid, that never undergoes hydrolysis. What about in between? Very weak acid and strong acid. In between, what is that? Weak acid. Their corresponding conjugate bases undergo hydrolysis, that is partial hydrolysis. Therefore, if anion is from weak acid, that undergoes partial hydrolysis, we have to say. Partial hydrolysis. Okay. So what is the conclusion here? Anion is undergoing hydrolysis means one is complete hydrolysis if the anion is from very weak acid. Then anion undergoes partial hydrolysis if it is from weak acid. Then anion does not undergo hydrolysis if it is from strong acid. Okay, sir. What are the strong acids? That perchloric acid, hydrogen iodide, hydrogen bromide, sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid. These are strong acids. Their corresponding conjugate bases do not undergo hydrolysis. Okay, sir. Now, if anion undergoes hydrolysis, what is the resultant? That we will see. Now, here we said anion is undergoing hydrolysis. What is the resultant? Resultant is this. A minus combines with water. That means A minus takes H plus from water to give HA. In the water, residual part is OH minus. Now, anion is undergoing hydrolysis means the resultant is acidic or basic or neutral. That we want. This A minus is the anion. It is undergoing hydrolysis means this must be weak acid, otherwise very weak acid. It should not be strong acid. Okay. So we are concluding that A minus undergoing hydrolysis means this HA can be weak acid, otherwise very weak acid. It can't be strong acid. Okay. OH minus. What is OH minus? The strongest base exists in aqueous solution is OH minus. In the aqueous solution, which strongest base existing means OH minus is existing. Therefore, this is strong base, whether it is weak acid or very weak acid. Therefore, resultant is what? Resultant shall we say as basic, shall we say, or acidic, shall we say, or neutral, shall we say? It is strong base, but it is weak. It is weak acid. So resultant is what? Basic. Okay. So if anion undergoes hydrolysis, then the resultant solution is basic. Okay. It is the conclusion. If anion is undergoing hydrolysis means the resultant solution is basic. Okay. In the anion is a univalent anion we have discussed. Even bivalent anion also, here we have discussed oxide undergoes hydrolysis. Even trivalent anion is there, tetravalent anion is there, many are there. Okay, they are undergoing hydrolysis. Okay, sir. Next we will see about cationic hydrolysis. We will see cationic hydrolysis. So we are taking a cationic hydrolysis. Cation will take B plus. Cation is suppose B we are taking, that is having univalent ion, univalent charge. Cation may contain divalent charge, cation may contain trivalent charge, anything possible. Univalent charge ammonium ion, sodium ion, divalent charge the magnesium ion, trivalent charge aluminum ion. Like this cation in the sense any valency possible. Sir, now we will take univalent, we will take. Sir, we are taking univalent, that means B plus we will take. B plus reacts with water. Now you think and say it is cation. Cation is interacting with water means it will take what from water? Will it take water directly or anion or cation? Water will exist as what? H plus and OH minus. So cation is interacting with water in the sense it may take what? OH minus. Therefore, you will get BOH. What is the residual part in water? H plus. H plus goes to solution. Like this we can say. So B plus undergoing hydrolysis in the sense we will get BOH we will get and H plus we will get. Sir. Examples we will see. Example for this one. Example for this one we will take. One we will take what cation in the sense cation we will take it as ammonium ion we will take. This ammonium ion is interacting with the water, reacting with the water. Ammonium ion will take what from water? Will take hydroxide. Therefore, become ammonium hydroxide in the water. What is the residual part in the sense H plus? Like this possible. This is a weak base. Its conjugate therefore undergoes partial hydrolysis. We can say partial hydrolysis. So cation, if cation is from weak base, then it will undergo partial hydrolysis. Which cations will not undergo hydrolysis? Alkali metal cations, Na plus, K plus, Rb plus, cesium plus. In alkaline earth metal cations, barium 2 plus will not undergo hydrolysis. Okay. Rest of the cations, all the metal cations can undergo hydrolysis to give respective hydroxide and H plus. Now, this cation is on hydrolysis, gives resultant solution. This resultant solution nature is what we will see. In the resultant solution, this base is there, H plus is there. This H plus is strong acid. This will exist as H3O plus. In the aqueous solution, strongest acid existing means that is H3O plus. Strongest acid existing in aqueous solution is H3O plus. Therefore, it is strongest acid. It is weak base. Therefore, resultant solution is what? Acidic. So, if cation undergoes hydrolysis, then the resultant solution is acidic, we can say. Just before we said, anion undergoes hydrolysis means resultant solution basic, we said. Cation undergoes hydrolysis means resultant solution is acidic. If both are undergoing, then in some salts, cation as well as anion both undergo hydrolysis. Then what is the resultant solution? That may be neutral or acidic or basic. Anything possibilities there based on extent of hydrolysis of cation and anion. Based on extent of hydrolysis of cation and anion, we can say nature of solution. Sir. Now we will take if anion undergoes hydrolysis, the resultant solution is basic, we said. Basic in the sense, what is the pH of resultant solution? How to find? That we will see. Similarly, cation and both, that we will see. Okay. Now, first we will take a salt. This salt is from strong acid and strong base. Like this, we will take. For this example is what in the sense Na plus Cl minus this. In this salt solution, cation is from strong base, therefore no hydrolysis. Anion is from strong acid, therefore no hydrolysis. So in this salt solution, what is the equilibrium possible in the sense H2O is in equilibrium with H plus and OH minus. Therefore, what is the equilibrium constant? Means that is Kw. Here equilibrium constant we can call it as hydrolysis constant. For this salt solution, hydrolysis constant is equal to Kw. Why? Because in this salt solution only this equilibrium is possible. Therefore, hydrolysis constant Kh is equal to what we can say in the sense Kw. Okay, Kw in the sense this is equal to concentration of H plus into OH minus. Therefore, this concentration and this concentration are equal. So we can say H plus square at 25 degrees Celsius. Kw is equal to Kh is equal to 10 power minus 14. Therefore, concentration of H plus is equal to 10 power minus 7 molar. So pH is equal to 7. Similarly, pOH is equal to 7. Therefore, at 25 degrees Celsius, we calculated pH of this salt solution, that comes as 7. Therefore, this salt solution is neutral. Why salt solution is neutral? Because pH is 7. Because H plus concentration is equal to OH minus concentration. That's why. Okay. Next, we will take a salt. That salt is from weak acid and strong base. Like this, we will take. For this example is what in the sense? Sodium acetate. Sodium acetate. In this one, what is a cation in the sense Na plus cation? Na plus cation is from strong base, therefore no hydrolysis. And anion is acetate. Acetate is from weak acid, therefore partial hydrolysis. Acetate ion undergoes partial hydrolysis. Okay. Now, resultant solution, nature is what? What is the pH? How to find? That we'll see. Now, in the place of acetate, we will take just A minus, we will take. It is reacting with water. A minus takes H plus from water and becomes Ha. In the water, residual part is OH minus. Okay. Initially, we are taking A minus C molar. How much undergoes hydrolysis? That we will see. Okay. How much undergoing hydrolysis? That we will see. Now, A minus with water gives Ha plus OH minus. Suppose I am taking initially 1 molar I am taking. Then how much will undergo hydrolysis in the sense degree of hydrolysis? How much undergoes hydrolysis in the sense that we can call it as a degree of hydrolysis we can call. If initial is 1 molar, then how much is undergoing hydrolysis means that is equal to degree of hydrolysis we can say. If initial is C molar, then how much will undergo hydrolysis? CH molar will undergo hydrolysis. How? Now we will say degree of hydrolysis formula is what in the sense H we can say. Degree of hydrolysis formula will say X. H we will say. Now, how much undergoes hydrolysis means suppose X. This much undergoes hydrolysis. And the denominator what we have to write means initial concentration we have to write. Initial is we can take C. Initial concentration of A minus is what means C. How much A minus undergoing hydrolysis means X. This X is the amount of A minus undergoing hydrolysis. C is called initial concentration of A minus. Therefore, X by C is called degree of hydrolysis. So X is equal to CH. That's what we have written. So A minus, in the place of A minus we have written CH. Okay. So how much A minus is remaining at equilibrium means C into 1 minus H. Now, A minus on hydrolysis gives HA. As per stoichiometric equation, one A minus, how much undergoing hydrolysis, that much HA will be formed. So A minus undergoing CH molar hydrolysis means HA will be formed CH molar. OH minus also produced that much only. Okay, this much produced. Now we will go for equilibrium constant. equilibrium constant Kh is equal to, right side we will write in the numerator, right side what is there means Ha and OH minus, that we will write in the numerator. Left side we will write in the denominator, left side what is there means A minus and water, that we have we have written in the denominator. This water concentration is constant, that we will take to left side. Therefore, what we will get in the sense, we will get Kc into concentration of water is equal to concentration of Ha into concentration of OH minus by concentration of A minus. This Kc is called equilibrium constant. This is concentration of water. It is also constant. Both on multiplication gives Kh, that is called hydrolysis constant. Hydrolysis constant is equal to concentration of Ha into concentration of OH minus by concentration of A minus. Okay. So we said Kh. Kh is called what in the sense hydrolysis constant. This hydrolysis constant is equal to concentration of Ha into concentration of OH minus by concentration of A minus. Now let us substitute the values. Ha concentration is Ch, that Ch we will substitute. OH minus concentration is Ch. A minus concentration is C into 1 minus H. So here we have given a Kh in terms of hydrolysis constant. Kh we have given in terms of hydrolysis constant. Okay. Now, if we know concentration of Ha, concentration of A minus and Kh, we can find OH minus concentration. This Kh value, how to say? Kh value, how to say? Kh value, if you substitute, then only we can get OH minus concentration. From that, we can go for pH. Okay, so how to find Kh? That we'll see. Now, I will rewrite this one. Now, this Ha I will take, concentration of Ha I will take. Then this concentration of A minus I will write. This concentration of OH minus I will write. Then I will include H plus concentration in the numerator as well as in the denominator. I have introduced H plus concentration in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay. Now what we will get, we'll see. This is equal to Kh, that Kh I have written. Now this one, this part is what? What is this? That we have to see. Okay. For that case, let us take weak acid Ha. That on dissociation gives what in the sense H plus and A minus. For this equilibrium constant is called acid dissociation constant Ka, that is equal to, right side we will write in the numerator H plus A minus, left side we will write in the denominator. This is called acid dissociation constant. Now see this one and see this one, compare. See this one and see this one, compare these two. This one and this one, compare. Shall we say this is a reverse of this? Okay, therefore 1 by Ka. Then this H plus into OH minus, this is called what? H plus concentration into OH minus concentration is called a Kw, that is called ionic product of water. Therefore, Kh is equal to Kw by Ka. Therefore, now Kw is a known value. Kw means ionic product of water at 25 degrees Celsius, it is 10 power minus 14, it is known value. Ka in the sense acid dissociation constant, if it is acetic acid, if Ha is acetic acid, Ka is 1.8 into 10 power minus 5. Therefore, Kw and Ka are known, from which we can find Kh. So we know Kh. So Kh is known. Concentration of Ha is nothing but C into 1 minus H, that we can substitute. Concentration of Ha means Ch. Concentration of A minus means C into 1 minus H, that also we can substitute. From this we can find concentration of OH minus. If we know OH minus concentration, from that we can find H plus concentration. From H plus concentration we can find what in the sense pH we can find. Therefore we know the pH of this solution. pH of this solution we know now. Okay, so we have calculated how to find pH of this solution. Okay, so if anion undergoes hydrolysis, what is the pH of resultant solution means using these formulas we can find. Using this formula we can find. Okay, so if cation undergoes hydrolysis, how to find? Before that, in the anion also, divalent anion also is there. If divalent anion is there, how to write equation. Okay, for divalent anion is there means how to write equation that we'll see, then we will go for cation. Okay, divalent anion, for example sulfide, it is undergoing hydrolysis means how to write equation that we'll see. Okay, first step, first it will take 1H plus and becomes HS minus, and in water OH minus is the remaining. It is first step. Second step, what means this HS minus takes H plus from water and becomes what in the sense H2S. In the water, what is the remaining means OH minus. Like this we have tried. So divalent anion means hydrolysis. How many steps we have tried? 2 steps we have tried. If the anion is trivalent, then we have to write 3 steps we have to write. So now we will go for cationic hydrolysis. Cationic hydrolysis. Okay, now cation we will take B plus, we will take, it is undergoing hydrolysis, that means B plus takes OH minus from water and becomes BOH. In the water, what is the residual part means H plus. Now initial concentration of B plus is how much means C molar. How much undergoes hydrolysis till equilibrium means CH molar. How much present at equilibrium means C in minus CH molar. BOH produced how much means CH. H plus produced how much means CH. Okay. Now we will write equilibrium constant for this equilibrium. The equilibrium constant Kc is equal to, right side we will write in the numerator, that is BOH into H plus by B plus into water. Concentration of water is constant, so take left side, take it left side. So Kc into concentration of water is equal to concentration of BOH into concentration of H plus by concentration of B plus. Kc into concentration of water is another constant, that is called Kh, called hydrolysis constant, that is equal to concentration of BOH into concentration of H plus by concentration of B plus. Okay. Now we can substitute these values, these concentration values we can substitute, from that we can get Kh. Then Kh we can say in terms of Kw, for which we will write this BOH expression we have written, this B plus concentration, this H plus concentration. Let us include in the denominator OH minus concentration, in the numerator OH minus concentration we will include. Now Kh is equal to this H plus into OH minus, we can say Kw. This, what is this one, that we will see. Now we will take the base undergoes dissociation to give what in the sense B plus and OH minus. For this equilibrium constant is called base dissociation constant, that is equal to, right side we will write in the numerator, left side we will write in the denominator. Now we got Kb. This expression and this expression, you see this expression is reverse of this expression, therefore it is nothing but 1 by Kb, so we got like this. So Kh hydrolysis constant equal to Kw by Kb. So we know Kh, BOH and B plus concentrations we know here. Then we can find H plus concentration. From H plus concentration we can say pH of this solution. Okay. Now what is C value? That how to find, how to say C value, that we'll see. Okay. Now we will take the salt. What is the salt we are taking in the sense? Suppose we are taking a 2 molar aqueous solution of ammonium chloride. Okay, 2 molar aqueous solution of ammonium chloride. Here what is the cation present? NH4 plus cation is present. Cl minus anion is present. Cation is undergoing hydrolysis. Anion is not undergoing hydrolysis. Now salt concentration is 2 molar. This salt undergoes a complete ionization, therefore giving 2 molar cation, 2 molar anion. In this cation is undergoing hydrolysis. What is the concentration of cation? Initial means this C molar is 2 molar we have to take. Okay. In the place of cation we have to take 2 molar we have to take. Initial concentration of cation is that much. Okay. Suppose we are taking a 2 molar aqueous solution of ammonium sulfate. 2 molar aqueous solution of ammonium sulfate we will take. It is a salt. In this salt, cation is NH4 plus. Cation undergoes hydrolysis. Cation undergoes hydrolysis means we will write equation like this. What will you write in the place of C? C is called initial concentration of B plus. Now you are given what? 2 molar aqueous solution of ammonium sulfate. Ammonium ion undergoes hydrolysis. What is the initial concentration of ammonium ion you will write? What is the initial concentration of ammonium ion? For which first we will ionize ammonium sulfate. This salt we will ionize it. This salt on ionization gives what in the sense ammonium ion and sulfate ion. Sulfate ion. Ammonium ion 2 times. Okay, we have to balance? No. It is undergoing complete ionization. It is undergoing complete ionization. Ionization means just splitting, not hydrolysis. Just splitting. How do we say that it is undergoing complete ionization? Can we say that all the salts undergo complete ionization? Of course, no. Then why do we say? If they mention salt undergoes so and so percentage ionization, 80% of salt is ionizing, 90% of salt is ionizing. In the question, if it is mentioned, then we can consider extent of ionization. Suppose if they are not mentioning anything, then what we have to do? We have to consider complete ionization. That's all. Seriya? Okay. So ammonium sulfate, you have taken 2 molar. It is undergoing complete ionization. Therefore, concentration of ammonium ion is how much? Means 4 molar. So initial concentration of ammonia is how much? Means 4 molar. Therefore, in this place, what we have to write means 4 molar we have to take. Okay. So suppose in the question it is given that 80% of salt undergoes ionization. In the problem, in the sum, it is mentioned that 80% of salt undergoes ionization. That means what? You have taken initially ammonium sulfate 2 molar you are taking. We are taking initially 2 molar ammonium sulfate. It is ionizing means it will give ammonium ion and sulfate ion. Okay. How much ionizes? They said 80%. 80% ionizes means in this ammonium sulfate, how much ionizing means 1.6 molar is ionizing. Remaining is not ionizing. Remaining is not ionizing. This much molar not ionizing. Therefore, how much ammonium ion is produced means 1.6 molar. 1.6 molar into 2. How much sulfate ion produced? In the sense 1.6 molar sulfate ion is produced. Therefore, if they mention salt is ionizing to so and so percentage, then we have to do like this. So now what is the initial concentration of ammonium ion? Means not 4 molar, 2 into 1.6 molar we have to say. That means initial concentration of cation is 2 into 1.6 molar only we have to say. Don't take 4 molar. Therefore, depending upon the question given, we have to consider. Okay, if ionization of salt is not mentioned, then you take complete ionization and take ammonium concentration is 4 molar. If salt undergoes 80% ionization, means take ammonium concentration is 2 into 1.6 molar. In the same manner, anion also. Okay, here sulfate can undergo hydrolysis. Therefore, sulfate concentration 1.6 molar you take if it is so and so. If it is like this, take 2 molar. Sulfate anion concentration is take 2 molar if it undergoes complete ionization. Okay, so what is the initial concentration of cation and anion means depending on the question only we can say. Sir, now we will go for the salt in which